Hi there, Graham at Penguin Motors. Last, for the moment, update on the dyno install. It's working. We are surrounded by bits of it. This here will be the dyno room.
The before shot.
I've got some major progress in that we have a hole in the wall.
Oh.
So I'm refreshing certain parts of the cart. For excitement, we've got the last bits of the chimney now. Let's make some noise. Our extractor now goes all the way out to the ceiling. We can extract vents, our water tank's in. We still only got 3, but for the moment 3's enough. The coolant circulates, comes out the cell to that tank, through them squirrely pipes into that one, down to the tank below there, where it goes through that duct into the cell itself. Fully working console, computer working. We're monitoring it. Air-fuel ratio there. The electricians have been in. This is our switchgear to run the pumps and extractor fan. We come around the back of the dyno. We can see water chambers, where the absorber lifts its water from and where it puts it back. This here fella here caused us a great deal of grief because this is a servo motor that controls a gate valve that restricts the water out of there. When we first worked the dyno, it wouldn't control the load properly. So we had a few more emails to America, another large amount of money later. We now have a new servo motor. Back to the load cell. The story wasn't quite finished on that because although eventually I got to the bottom of the calibration, made it all work, when we put an engine on it, it didn't read any torque. And I looked and thought and thought and looked. And eventually I realised that the load cell was bolted to the absorber in the same place it was when we bought the cart, but compared to Connaught's dyno, it was on the other side. So we flipped the load cell over and it worked. Didn't affect the calibration either. Whoever last ran this either did an engine on it that rotated backwards, aka a Honda, or more likely they just bolted this on quick so it had something on it. We've still got a few little upgrades to do. I've been upgrading the ignition system and we have to run different ignition amplifiers and coils depending what engine we've got. So it's still quite basic, but we have a functioning dyno. So I've got a few odd jobs to do. The plumbing needs a few tweaks. We need to tidy up in here, but by and large, it's there. It reads numbers. It works. Coming up next is just a couple of clips of this engine running on a dyno. It's not the first to run on it, but it's the first of the client's engine. There's a few clips of this actually in action, making some noise, burning some fuel. There will be a video of this actual engine doing a full power run for your pleasure and enjoyment. Ignition and pumps on. Let's make some noise. That's it for dyno updates because basically we're there. The project is done. It took about 9 months, but we've come from nothing to a working machine. So there won't likely to be any more updates on the dyno unless I upgrade the whole front end and spend a huge amount of money. But what there will be is a lot of engine testing and dyno footage for you guys to see. Stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell.